Welcome back to my channel, and we are flipping away from the Fiat 500 for this week's episode. We are really needing to get this 3 Series completed, and it's been a very long time. A good couple of months it's been sitting here, and a few residents apparently have been having some conversations with each other about why it was sitting there. So really needed to get it going. This car has not really been touched in years, so I've just decided to go and do a complete oil and filter change, which is relatively easy. So well, I say relatively easy. I do need a 28mm socket, which I don't have, and that's holding me back from changing the oil filter. But the cabin filter and the air filter are pretty easy to do as well. So that's going to be the first thing, and then at least I can start moving the car around properly, and probably using it a bit as a daily driver as well, because having just moved this to another location, it actually drives really well. There's a knocking coming from the rear, but I'm not sure if because the boot and everything's been taken apart that there's something rolling around in there. But so I need to sort that out as well. Hopefully that's not too bad. So first things first, which is the ignition, where again I have no idea how on earth or why it's happened, but the ignition barrel didn't have the cover and was completely missing the screw, so it literally was just coming straight out pretty much into your hand. So I had to get a replacement part for that, and luckily it also came with the screws as well. So that was one thing, which was a really, I say it's a quick job. It's that flipping screws were an absolute nightmare, because you've got the stalks in the way and the steering wheel, so finding the right kind of screwdriver and getting a proper head-on access into those screws was actually relatively difficult. But eventually, luckily, I got it done, and so it's one less thing to worry about. And I thought I'll get that out of the way. That's a nice, easy job to do. So on goes the cover, and that's literally just a snapping kind of thing. Just wanted to make sure that I had that snapped in sort of nice and square on before pressing it all back in. But yeah, that seems to be done and nicely sorted. Quick check to make sure that the ignition was working still and that I hadn't completely messed up, which sometimes you think it's all done and it isn't. But yeah, everything is good there. So as you can see, the car, and as you will know if you've been following my channel, it's absolutely filthy. I've no idea when the filters were done. It's got a part service history, but that was like 2017, 2018, something like that. So there will be a bit of cleaning to be done. But this is the air filter that I've just removed, and absolutely amazing. I have no idea how on earth you get that kind of stuff in there in the first place. Really no idea. And you can see that the air filter was 2013. So yeah, that and inside needs to be properly cleaned out. I just don't know how it sucks in all of that crud. And then the cabin filter, which I got my father to help me with just while I record it. It's a bit of a mystery one, you know, trying to get these things open and seeing what they look like inside. You always hope that, to some extent, that actually the filter's completely really worn, because you go out and buy these filters and it's not exactly the easiest to return them. So I thought cabin filter pretty much, I reckon, would never have been done on this car. I think when you put in your car for a service, when they say, "Oh, do you want to get the cabin filter changed?" most people will say, "Nah, don't worry, it's pointless, because it doesn't really affect the performance of the car." I've never needed it changed, but I know they can charge quite a bit. The cabin filter for this was, I think just over a tenner. So yeah, there's something like, I can't remember how many screws there are now. There's something like 6 screws for this, just to get this done. And it's quite a long piece as well. And you'll see in a minute that when we get that out, what it will look like. So it's going about to come away, and from there you can see it's pretty dark. Obviously just some few leaves and stuff that just need cleaning out, but not too bad. Yeah, it's pretty black. That should be white. So a new cabin filter will be changed on the car as well. Onto the front of the car, the bumpers had some scrapes, and in this case it's completely, like, I want to say, cut through the plastic and caused quite a deep gouge on the passenger side. And then on the driver's side, down the bottom here, we've got, I don't really know what's happened here, but it's scuffing, and it's yeah, I just don't know how you really get that kind of damage down below, but it's completely scuffed and everything like that. So sanded that back, got that to, well, as smooth as possible with I think it was 100, was it 800 grit, was it 180, I think it was. And then, so yeah, got that down so they're just nice and smooth. And then we moved on to the filler. Got some plastic filler just to fill in that crease. I had to actually do that again. This one on the driver's side was actually relatively easy, but the passenger side I needed to apply it, and then realised that it hadn't really gone into the crack as much, so I had to reapply it for the second time. Then we were on to primer, and yeah, just 3 coats of primer to get that done nicely, and then it was a case of wet sanding it back with 800 grit just to make it nice and smooth, ready for the can of paint to go on. And yeah, so as you can see, I've also started work on the cup holder. I'm pretty sure I can know how to fix that, but that was a case of taking those apart, which is something as well. And yeah, it's apart from the fact that it needs a very, very good hoover, like a really good hoover, which I don't have, so I need to get a Henry Hoover or something like that. So yeah, until next time, take care, give it the thumbs up and the like and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, look out for how this 3 Series is getting on, and I'll see you all soon.